Hey there, it's episode 51 of my blind old school RuneScape playthrough from years ago. This episode is focused on completing achievements still, checking out the gauntlet. I'm doing the regular gauntlet. I know basically no one does the regular gauntlet, but at the time you needed to get 50 KC on a boss in order to show up on the high scores, and I wanted to get at least 50 KC on every boss, so I did a lot of kills at the regular gauntlet. Also just a lot of putzing around, looking for AFK skilling grinds, trying to get important Slayer tasks that will get us access to more combat achievements. I keep getting YouTube comments asking, yes, I am playing old school RuneScape right now. Yes, I am going to share that content. Just bear with me as I get through all of this old stuff. It's hard for me to predict how many episodes are remaining of this series because when I go to edit the video, I could have 60 hours of video and that could edit down to 20 minutes or it could edit down to 2 hours. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the playthrough. Brace for bad mic quality.
Hello, good morning. I'm going to go try to do this air orb charging thing. I need to figure out the best inventory and setup to do it. I think the achievement diary cape is probably the way to go because of the Edgel teleport and because it's unlimited, unlike the Amulet of Glory. I also think that it's critical that I not bring too many items each time, right? It ended up making more sense to use a Amulet of Glory. I'll mess with it a little bit. I think the diary cape alone isn't going to cut it. Well, maybe I can use it as a shitty house teleport. Probably just going to end up making more sense for me to use a house teleport, though. So I can always refill my energy. Yeah, this gets me closer to the bank. This is better. I need to make more house tabs anyway. Yeah, I might just do the achievement cape anyway, because it gives me my slots back, and it's not that much running into the house and warping out. I'm definitely going to hit 99 magic while I'm doing this, and I'm dreading that because then it's going to be really hard for me to stomach like alking and doing activities like this when I'm not earning useful XP for it anymore. Man, if they just added the tiniest incentive to continue leveling combat stats above 99, that would make me so happy. Not anything significant at all. It could just be like you have a 1% chance of an increased max hit. So anything mild like that. I'm trying to decide if I want to do something fancy for 99 magic or just hit it at an air orb. I guess I could go leave and grab some mind runes and dang on a goblin or something. I don't think I've done anything fancy for 99 levels in a while. I guess the only non-combat 99 I have is farming, so we'll see. Once this actions list gets down to like 3, maybe I'll think about briefly doing something fancy. The magic cape is one of the few capes that's actually kind of useful, I think. It lets you switch spellbooks 5 times per day, so I think the use case there is that if you, for some reason, have access to a bank but not your player-owned house, you can change spellbooks. Or, well, actually, no, I take that back. Being able to change spellbooks would have made that Abyssal Sire thing, the one where you had to like switch to the Lunar Spellbook and cast Vengeance, that would have made that way more tolerable. So perhaps there's other content out there or achievement diaries or being able to change spellbooks mid-trip would make it more tolerable. We'll see. Shit, I forgot to bring the Cosmic Runes. I'm going to go ahead and I'll do something silly. I'll go airstrike a goblin for 99 magic. Why not? Alright, 58 XP to level up. Let's get some stuff together and head over to Lumbridge. Why not? I'm not even sure where my first magic XP came from. It's probably from, well, I guess it has to be from Windstrike, right? Just bring the air runes and the mine runes. Should be fine. And now barrage tasks are going to feel awful. Alking in particular, I think, is going to kill me now. Super Glass Make. Goblin. Windstrike. It's going to take a minute, isn't it? Alright, I think this is going to be it. Magic 99. It is finished. Very cool. I don't know why I'm still killing this goblin. Well, that's exciting. Let me go get the magic cape, because why not? Although in this case it's not why not. It's an actual tool that I might use. I don't know where to get the magic cape. Looking it up right now. Wizard's Guild. Oh, hey. There's a crop circle here. I guess I should do that because it gets me a Puro buff, isn't it? I don't think I want to do Puro, but oh yeah, it's already full of people. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't give me an on-screen buff for the push through the wheat faster thing. Wizard Sinina. Oh, you just buy it from them? Interesting. Can you tell me about your cape? I guess you just buy it from his shop. All right. Cool music. Looks nice. Actually, I think visually, other than the agility cape, this is probably my second favorite looking cape. I like blue, yellow, and white. Neat. Cape worn by the most powerful mages. Well, I'll go deposit the hood. Don't need that. Only 5 accomplishment capes may be stored in this tier of cape rack. So, yeah, I might want to level up construction a bit more just to get better storage. Now, the gilded cape rack is 10 capes of accomplishment, and the marble cape rack is all capes of accomplishment. So, gilded cape rack I can technically make now. Maybe I should. I think I need it to make the marble one anyway. The marble one is 90 construction. It does have an upgrade option. Okay, well, I will probably do that. I don't need to do it immediately, but I would like to get construction up high enough to make things like that. Oh, can I do it now? I might be able to with a boost, because I get +3 from the saw is 86, and then I'd have to fish for a +4 boost. I think T only gives a +3 boost. Yeah, +3. So I have to get at least 1 construction level. But if I were to do that, I would do it via Mahogany Homes, which I haven't really touched at all, which has some other interesting rewards. So maybe I'll think about doing that later. I don't know. Still need to get... I want to do air orbs for all of my banked battle staves. I'm only about halfway there, so I guess I could keep doing that. All right, I now have enough air orbs to use all the battle staffs in my bank, so I'll probably end up doing that and then alking, and we'll see what we're doing next. All right, Crystal Impling just caught. Rune Javelin Heads, yeah. Pretty solid amount of XP from that. 160k crafting XP, and I think once I get around to alking these, it's going to be like 11 million gold. I'm going to try to get back in the habit of buying daily battle staves, with the intent being to use them for this purpose. Making the air orbs was kind of a pain in the ass, but I guess it wasn't that bad. It could have been worse. Real quick, I'm going to buy today's battle staves, craft those, and then I think I'm going to try to just cut all of my gems because I have a shitload of them. And I kind of need to be AFK today for a bit. Interesting. It looks like chiseling amethyst is really good crafting XP. It's not very fast, but if the goal is to just mine a ton of amethyst and have that be my default AFK activity for the rest of my time in old school RuneScape, that's also going to potentially generate a lot of passive crafting XP. I should probably calculate what my dart goals are. I think I want to have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of amethyst darts in the bank, because I'd like to just be able to use them without thinking about it, and then try to figure out how much XP that equates to. But that's still far off. I still have to get 3 mining levels, which isn't really on the docket at the moment. I bring it up because crafting is one of the longest grinds that I have remaining. I still need to get it to like 93 so we can boost to make an Amulet of Torture. And I've been really feeling the lack of Torture Amulet in a lot of the achievements I've been going for, going in with a Fury Amulet. So I might try to work a little bit harder on making that happen. I have a lot of the necessary resources in my bank already. I guess I can only really get to 91 with what I have banked. But okay, so I think I actually already have enough sand in the bank in order to be able to get to 93 crafting if I go hard on it. I kind of just want to do that. I guess once I hit 93, that would be my signal to start doing demonic gorillas again, as much as I hate them. So I'm going to do demonic gorillas. I probably should stop doing Konar, because I don't think she can give you a Black Demon's task in the crash site. I'll double check that. I don't think we want to do gorillas without a Slayer Helm. So I might end up going back to Duradel until we get Dagonoths, Abyssal Demons, and Black Demons. Then I'll try to do a whole Black Demon task at Demonic Gorillas. Alright, there's our Crystal Impling. 437 rune arrows. Alright, it took many hours, but I finally managed to finish chiseling all of my gems, including all these opals, so that shit's done, finally. Let's get rid of all these crushed gems. I'm gonna also get rid of the placeholder for opals, because I don't expect to collect any more of those anytime soon. This is cool. We're 2/3 of the way to 90 crafting. What other options do I have for crafting right now? I would kind of like to hit 90. That way, if I get a demonic gorillas task and I get a Zenite drop, I can make it into a tormented bracelet. Flax, maybe? Oh, flax seems not fun. Turn all this seaweed into soda ash. I guess I don't have to if I have super glass make. I think what I want to do actually is soft clay, and I want to make like 1,000 house teleport tablets. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be miserable, but who cares? Still have bracelets of clay. Do I have to make bracelets of clay? I might have to. I can do that real quick, though. That shouldn't be too hard. Make a handful of those. We'll head over to the Chahern mine. The goal is 1,000 soft clay. Figured I'd pop over and mine these runite ores as they become available, but forgot how miserable it is to mine runite. It's only once per 10 minutes, so. Alright, I made way too many bracelets of clay, but I guess we can hold on to them. I have 1,004 soft clay. It's more than enough to make 1,000 house tablets, so I'm going to gear up and start working on that. Alright, doing that with the farming guild right there is really, really nice. We have 1,075 POH tabs now. It's a lot of work, but I'm glad we got that done because now I don't have to think about it anymore. I need to prep for stream. I've basically had 2 consecutive RuneScape days of bank cleanup and bank-related activities, like skilling and that sort of a thing. I'm excited to actually do something next time I play. I don't know what that thing is yet, though, so we'll talk about it when we get there. I'll see you around. Bye. Hey there, I said I'd come back and do something interesting, but I got to be a little AFK, and then I got an appointment. But after that appointment, I will almost certainly have time to do something interesting. What's interesting is probably going to be a little bit more triple jad practice with no rigor this time, because I think they're going to take the beta down tomorrow, so I want to get a little bit more in, maybe even check out the Inferno a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm just going to alch these air battle staves, because I still need money. I'm going to do this in Prif in case I see any crystal implings. Alching sucks when you're at 99 magic. Times like these, I'm glad I bought this foot pedal. I'm able to get a lot of work done by just tapping my foot constantly. Alright, I have finished alching everything. Saved about 72 nature runes. I'm going to step away and get some work done, and I'll be back. I do want to do triple jads practice, and I am going to do triple jads practice, but I still have a little bit more AFK stuff I got to do, so I am going to get rid of all this crap from my bank. I've got a bunch of uncooked food that is using up a ton of slots, so I'm going to try to cook it real quick. Okay, I think I finally have some time here. Let me pop over to the tournament world and try to get... We're going to try to do triple jads with no rigor, because that's going to be a more realistic representation of what that fight's going to look like. 1 second. See if I added the crystal armor now. Probably not. Teleport crystals. No crystal armor, though. Okay, we're going to do triple jad, no rigor, see how it goes. Oh, missed a prayer, apparently. Oops. Trying to see about using Hawkeye just to slightly increase my accuracy here. There's supposed to be a way to move to guarantee that they all line up in a way that they're blocking each other. I try to make that happen too. And I have actual crystal armor. It should help a lot with my accuracy here. I probably won't need Hawkeye, but I'm curious how many supplies it ends up burning when I use it. Single jad's about half a prayer bar. Okay. Let's see when we get on 2. And I misprayed. It's okay, at least I know what I'm doing wrong. Double jad's down. I'm going to quickly watch the exact video that shows how to restack them here. Zigzag diagonally. Square north or south of one healer works best to trap other healers behind it. North or south behind it, healer. Okay. Give it a try. That one ended up being about 2 doses of Super Restore and a Sarah Brew, which not great, but better than what I was getting before, so we'll see. Yeah, I got my ass kicked there. Let's try that again. And I died on the double jads. I keep dying while trying to move in such a way that the ads aren't stacked up on me on double jads, which is embarrassing, but probably just need to deal with being hit by 2 of them and hope that I can tank it. Made it past the first of 3 jads, both times though, which is interesting, that I'm struggling more with the double jad part. We're going to try to practice using Blood Barrage to heal at the end of this one. Blood Barraging the healer seems like a bad idea. I feel like I'm going to take more damage from the one that's attacking me. So maybe I will not try to do that. I can always cheese heal here by just waiting to regen to full health, which is probably what I'll actually do if I ever get to Zuck. Alright, that went pretty well. That was 1 full Super Restore. Probably could have brought that down if I was a little bit better play. 1 full Super Restore and Hawkeye just on the entire time, which I might not need if I have a Crystal Body and Crystal Legs. So I don't really have the time to practice Inferno proper, but I feel pretty good about Triple Jad. I'm probably going to die to it a couple times when we actually go to run it, just from nerves, since I don't have the nerves here. But I've got a pretty good idea. Hopefully I should just be able to watch those videos too to maybe get some practice back in. But it feels pretty good. Yeah, I think that's all. I think I'm going to go back to the main servers then and find something different to do. But I wanted to get as much Triple Jad practice in as I could until I felt confident with it. And I learned that I did not need rigor, which helps a lot. All right, I'm back from Triple Jad, and it's really reinforcing to me that I absolutely need to do the gauntlet. I need the F-bow. I don't think it's going to be possible without it. So I am going to go try some regular gauntlet clears. I need to get 50 KC to get on the leaderboards for regular gauntlet, so I'm going to give that a stab, see if I can clock some kills. I'm not expecting to get any drops, but just trying to learn it. It's got a Wolf Puncher achievement? What's that for? You made more than 1 attuned weapon. Oh, did I attempt this before combat achievements launched? Oh, you have failed. Ah, never mind. I did not get that. You have failed, defense doesn't matter. That's fine. I think we always go in starting on protect from range. I got a kill. It was messy, but we did it. I do that 44 more times before I start practicing Corrupted Gauntlet. Right. I've learned about running through the boss as soon as it triggers an attack animation. That seems to be a huge deal. Really makes you more likely to succeed here. I cannot find tier 2 enemies on this map at all. I feel like I should have seen one by now. Hey, look at this coverage. There's some. Jeez. Wallet Adept. I think that's for 10 kills. Elite Clue Scroll. That's neat. Go do that. Why not? I'll probably have to leave to prep for stream. But, ooh, I'm running out of scales in my blowpipe. I'm going to have to fight Zulrah soon. I'm looking forward to that. Guess I could always fish. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Too bad I didn't do a boatload of Zulrah while I was using that T-bow. Maybe I can hold out until I get an F-bow. I think it might be better on Zulrah than the blowpipe. This is one of the nastiest elite clues I've done in a minute. While I'm in Dorgish Khan, I might turn in all my long bones and stuff. I got a decent number of them. Caskets. Okay, that was a rough casket. Elite casket contains nothing. I have been really unlucky on clues lately. A full inventory of long bones. It's kind of funny. I get ready for a giant construction XP drop here then. Sounds good. 144k. Wow, I'm gonna get 84 out of this, or close to it anyway. Nice little XP drop there. I think that's like all of Slayer, beginning from when I finished construction to present. I think 84 is maybe a significant level 2 in terms of boosting. I'll have to double check. Arlac will accept items from the player's bank. Okay, so I already got everything. That's fine. That's as of last September, I guess. Good for them. Okay, well, my task is done. My elite clue scroll, so I'm just gonna head back to Privethenis and sign off. Hopefully, I can summon up the willpower to just do Gauntlet over and over until we get to 50kc. Howdy, folks. Just after signing off yesterday, a crystal impling spawned right next to me, so I caught it. So you missed me catching one crystal impling. I'll go ahead and open it real quick, and I'll talk about what we're doing today. 2 dragon stones. Okay. I am going to keep doing Gauntlet. That's my main focus. However, I would also like to finish up the hard combat achievements. I'm waiting for Dead Man Reborn to do all of the wilderness bosses. Might have some time this morning to do some Dagonoth King tribe ridding with Chaos, but I'm going to need blowpipe darts for that. So I need to go fight Zulrah, which I haven't done in a while. I've never tried it with Void. I guess I'll do that. I'm going to do Void just to reduce the complexity of this, right? I might try summon spells. See how much of a difference it makes. I guess they're idle for most of the fight, but we'll see if the extra DPS makes a significant difference or not. I did a lot of Zulrah in Trailblazer, but it was also a lot easier because with the extra tick speed and magic accuracy, I was able to end the fight consistently under a couple minutes. I just need to get enough here so that I can do this Dagonoth Kings thing with Chaos whenever they get on. I'll wield the Book of the Dead just so I can save an inventory slot here. Let's try doing it just with this setup and see how it goes. I have no muscle memory for Zulrah, so this might be a little bit painful. Shit. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that diary that gives me an extra life here. It's quite nice. Yeah, I'm really rusty. Yikes. Well, I got the antidote drop. That's a pretty good one. I might just do this magic only. It looks like I can hit okay. I don't know if I want to keep Void for that, but I'll double check. Magic only would significantly reduce the complexity of this, so let me see if that's worth trying. It says Arms is better. I kind of don't buy it, but I'll give it a try. Probably should make Cromblin combo food at some point. It's been pretty helpful in the Gauntlet. Let's see how Mage Only goes. Maybe Augury makes this possible. Elite Diary, Free Resurrection is quite nice. Well, that one I did not. Thought I was praying correctly, but I guess not. Mage Only is not. It's not going to cut it. It's a nice dream, but I just don't do any damage while the boss is magic. Of course, I brought my full stack of house teleports. Fortunately, I spawned not far from a house teleport, so definitely not getting away with mage only. That's not happening. I'm gonna end up doing some Karambwan fishing soon. I really got to see the benefit of combo eating in leagues because you make a bajillion Karambwans in leagues. Alright, that went a little bit better. The main thing really, I think, is just I need to regain my muscle memory for this. Just gonna try to keep doing this until I get my blowpipe back up to 100%, I think. I don't know if I want to be living paycheck to paycheck on blowpipe darts, but what achievements do we need from Zulrah? 150 kills. Use Vengeance as the finishing blow. Kill 3 snakelings simultaneously. I like the snake. That's fun. Kill Zulrah sub 1 minute 20 seconds without a Slayer task. Whew. It's an elite task? Yikes. Well, I missed praying by like a tick. Boss had like 1 hit point left too. I really need to get my muscle memory back. This is pretty bad. I might go try to catch some Karambwans real quick, actually. I don't think I really appreciated how much having some combo food makes a difference. But it's a big deal. We'll keep trying it as is for now. Try to make fewer stupid mistakes. I think part of it is I forgot how just how much unavoidable damage is in this fight. Wow, I got stacked out with Magic Zulrah. Man, this sucks. I'm losing a lot of money here. I guess I'm really grateful that it's Zulrah, so it's 100k recovery fee as opposed to the new gravestones, which would be way more expensive. Could maybe try doing this instead of using Void. I could use Arms and Armadil, but I'm unconvinced that it's actually better. I think the reason not to use Void is defense, actually. I think I'm getting my ass kicked because of that. Okay, well, let me try not Void. It results in significantly more switches, but what are you going to do? Okay, hopefully that's enough Zulrah skills to last us a while. I'm not going to get to 100% because that would be like 50 more kills. I am going to use some of these to make some more anti-venoms. I do like the anti-venom pluses, those make a difference. So I could use Spirit Flakes to try to get a ton of eels. I mean, it's 1931 Spirit Flakes. It adds up to a lot of Zulrah scales. I haven't done fishing in a while. Trying to decide if I want to try that. Let's use those Torsals I just got. Oh, right, you need 94 Herbler. That's fine, I'll just do the boost here. I'm not going to use it on anything other than this. Should last me a while. 22 anti-venom pluses, which is about 88 Zulrah kills. Yeah, I should be able to replenish that. This is also a 88 Zulrah or Vorkath kills, I guess, technically, but... Alright, and I think I'm going to put the rest of these scales on my Trident of the Swamp, because that's getting pretty low too. Enough to have me nervous. Oh, I ran out of fire runes. Funny. Alright, I just need to go... I would like to have enough fire runes that I don't have to think about it, so I'm going to go to Varrock and just try to stock up here. Alright, 12k fire runes. I'm going to go do like maybe an hour or so of Sacred Eel fishing, because I haven't done it in a long time, and I'm curious how slow it actually is, you know? Need to get some Karambwan later too, but let's do this first. I feel like this is probably the best thing for me to justify using these Spirit Flakes on, other than maybe I might conceivably go fishing for anglerfish at some point. I feel like this should just be more encouraging that I should finish this gauntlet grind and get the Bow of Ferdinand, because like once I have that and once it's fully charged, it does not involve any upkeep. I didn't really think about the scales upkeep for the Inferno. If I were still using the blowpipe for most of it, that would not be fun for learning attempts. Those Spirit Flakes I just got the equivalent of a single normal kill on Zul'Ra. So obviously it takes quite a bit longer. I guess I do want to go back to Temporos to try to get the water book. Technically, I got the trophy that has the same drop rate as the water book, so I could equivalent exchange it, but it feels unusually icky for me. I should just do that, but I don't know. There's other cool stuff from Temporos that would make me want to go back, so we'll see. Maybe I will. The point is, we'll worry about it once I run out of Spirit Flakes, which will take a little bit. Probably not efficient, but I guess technically I can use Chef's Delights, because that'll get me to 104 cooking. Maybe even better if I have the cooking cape. I can make it last a little bit longer. Anyway, Chef's Delights will get me to 104 cooking, which will let me get more scales per eel. Again, I don't think it's worth it, but it'd be interesting to play around with. So I think I still have a barrel that produces it in my house, right? I guess I need to get a mug, which is kind of annoying. All right, yeah. This is kind of a pain. Yeah, it brings it up to 7 to 9 instead of 6 to 8. Might be able to do it in a way that's less stupid. I think I always lose the glass, though. It does eat my mug, even if I made it myself. Okay. Well, I'll mess around with it. We'll see. Pretty soon here, I gotta step away because there's some testing I have to do for stream today on the PC that I'm recording RuneScape on. So we'll say 3,000 Zul'Ra scales is enough for now. I'll probably use that to fully charge my trident of the swamp and then dump the rest of them into the blowpipe. Still not 100% charged, but this is still pretty fast, and I guess I learned that using the Chef's Delight trick probably isn't worth it. I did the math, and at best it gets you an extra, 3 shards. No, not extra 3 shards. It counts for an extra 3 eels caught. And if you just stay here instead of leaving to go do all of that, you'll easily get 3 extra eels in that period. So I don't think that's worth it. I think this is worth doing, though, with Spirit Flakes. I think it was less worth doing without Spirit Flakes, but now that Spirit Flakes are here, it's arguably comparable Zul'Ra scales per hour, if not faster, actually. I'd have to sit down and do that math. It's also way lower risk. I guess you could argue I should be doing Zul'Ra for all the other drops and to get more KC and for combat achievements and the like, but it's too much for me right now. I think I want to wait to really fight Zul'Ra a lot until I get the F bow. I think that's going to make it a lot easier. All right, well, that's 3k right there, so we'll go do that. All right. Trident is fully charged. Up to 33% charges on the blowpipe, so that's 2.5 hours of constant nonstop use. It should be fine for Dagonoth Kings when we get around to it later this morning. All right, I'll be back soon. Hey, so I'm still working on some stream setup stuff here, but I figured Chaos is going to have to gear up and then meet me in the cave, so I may as well do that part of all of this, getting to the cave room. So I'm going to try to get my gear set together here as best I can. I'm just going to bring a regular trident and go with Ring of Suffering instead of get my defense as high as possible here. I think this is the most stuff that I want here. Let me think. Alright, this is an extremely messy, alarming setup, but hopefully it's going to be fine. I'm just going to bring a regular whip instead of a tentacle. Almost went with no weapon. That would have been bad. Bring the tentacle. It's 1,500 more attacks, which is comparable to what I'm looking at on my trident and my blowpipe. So if I gotta warp out, I gotta warp out. It happens. I expect this is going to be really messy. Oh, I should probably sip a stamina pot before I leave. And I just want to get to the AFK spot and log out and then finish my stream testing. I guess I could try soloing it even if Chaos isn't able to join. Okay, I made it here. I'm going to sit here AFK for a bit to regenerate my special attack energy so I can hopefully just top off with a Ceradormant Godsword, and then I'm going to log off and finish my video testing. Alright, I was able to spec to get to full health. I'm a little short of full prayer, but that's fine. Just gonna sit here until my spec comes up to 100 and then I'll log out. Hey, I'm back, still waiting on Chaos Factor, so I'm gonna give it a shot at doing a solo run, see how it goes. Probably come back here and wait after I've given it a good college try. Let's give it a shot here. I should probably find a server first. I don't know that this cave is open. No adventurers. This is fine then. Going okay at the start here. Seemed pretty tanky, which is nice. Should try to get the achievement for being aggroed by all three of them, right? Yeah, let's go safe spot Rex. Death to the Archer King. Cool. Healing up seems pretty easy, so that's nice. Killing them all fast enough might be a challenge, though. We'll see. I think I've got the basic idea. I'm gonna pop out of here real quick. I really want Chaos to be here so that I can do this comfortably, because right now it's not exactly comfortable. I'm gonna turn the recording off again here. I'm just gonna sit here and spec up with the Saradomin Godsword until I'm caught up. I'll see you when Chaos is available. Alright, Chaos is here. He's just gonna do Rex only, so I'm gonna head downstairs and kill the other two. Well, I fucked up. It's unfortunate. It was kind of a nightmare. See how much I spent on that death. I think it was pretty bad. Yeah, it was like 350k. Yikes. It's going a little bit better. Alright, this is becoming cleaner. It remains cleaner. This is pretty chill now that I've got them in a rhythm with each other. I had to teleport out, had a mistake there with Rex. Gonna give it another try. I need the opportunity to re-gear anyway, so it's not all bad. Huh, got a Dragon Axe drop, which is kind of nice because I Didn't actually get that last time in my own collection log. That was Chaos's collection log. Getting stuff from my own collection log is always nice. Alright, that went really well. I got like 30 KC on both of them. Sitting on 59 noted bones. Look at Luke Tracker. Pretty much just the bones. Everything else is garbage. And the Dragon Axe, that's kind of cool. How many Dagonoth bones do we have right now? 580k worth, nice. Alright, well I gotta prep for stream, so I'm gonna leave. I'll see ya.
Hey, it's Future Marstead weighing in really quick. There's a long section coming up here that I'm including for posterity because I think it's kind of cute. Recall that when I was playing at this time, I was recording 100% of my time played, so every single hour of every activity I was doing was completely recorded with no exceptions. Very painful. I have multiple completely full hard drives because of that, and editing these videos is a nightmare because, you know, I'm loading 68 hours of video into a timeline and having to cut it up. There's a lot of complicated reasons why I thought that doing that was necessary, and like the whole fast forwarding system of the earlier videos in the series. The basic idea though is that my stream format is that I do full playthroughs of games. I do, you know, big let's plays, and I wanted to show every single second of the gameplay lest you not believe that all of the restrictions on my account were real. I've since learned from consuming a lot more RuneScape content that nobody cares. Like you don't need to have it proven that I followed my own restrictions. The reason to trust me that I followed my own restrictions is that it would be lame if I cheated, right? I know my account's not even an Iron Man, but every other account that has custom restrictions like Chunk Man, you just kind of like trust people, right? And they'll show you things to prove it, like they'll show you the music list or they'll show you their collection log. But nobody is obsessive about proving that they played legitimately to the extent that they're recording every second of play in a 3,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 hour game, right? You do hear me a lot in this playthrough talking about like needing to go back to the verification spreadsheet to prove that I bought back all the bonds that I got. I'm sure no one cares. It's fine. The thing you're about to see is me talking about wanting to play the game on mobile for a little bit, because for this entire period of 3,000 plus hours of play, I basically have never touched mobile. Even though there are a lot of situations where playing RuneScape on mobile is really convenient, like, you know, waiting at the doctor's office or in the airport or whatever. So I go on here for a pretty long time about the way I'm going to do a little bit of mobile training and then prove to you that I didn't, like, go to the Grand Exchange and buy Zulrah scales offline. It doesn't matter. After I show you this clip, just for posterity, I'm going to cut future references to this because I talk about it so much and none of you care. So I threw a timestamp in the description if you want to just skip past me talking about my plan for tracking how much XP I had the moment I logged off and then recreating how much time I necessarily spent on fishing for Zulrah scales on my phone. Who cares, right? All right, back to it.
Hey, this is going to be a short little mini recording here. I would like to play this game on mobile. And I've been wanting to play this game on mobile for a while because there's a lot of opportunities I have to use my phone, but I don't want to do it because I don't want to not record stuff, right? And we've already kind of set a precedent that there are certain activities that I've been okay with not recording because it was too much of a hassle to do, namely cannonball smithing was the big one, and I guess crafting and alching gold bars, crafting them into bracelets and alching them after the fact. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to be okay with also fishing for sacred eels. My reasoning for that is I don't need fishing levels for anything. I'm done with that grind as far as the playthrough is concerned. It's very slow and boring. It's much slower than the more interesting activity of Zulrah. And I already have a solution to keep me honest, to make sure I'm not like sneaking out on you and buying Zulrah scales or something. What I'll do is anytime I plan to do mobile Zulrah, I'll make sure that I show the current fishing total at the end of the episode and then show you the new fishing total when I come back from mobile, and we'll compare that to the number of scales that I got, right? Because it should be knowable how many scales I should be getting. And I'll be sure to update the live split timer. We'll come up with some calculation based on the number of scales I end up with, how many hours that should represent, like we did with cannonball smithing. So I just wanted to include that in a recording that I want to start doing that. I think it's going to help a lot to just have an AFK source of this. When we eventually get to 92 mining, which is still a task that I want to work on, I'm probably going to do the same thing with Amethyst, because Amethyst is brutally slow and AFKable. So I'll probably just show you how much ore I got, show you how much mining XP I got to prove that I got it from mining, and then increase the live split timer to compensate. So just popping in to say that because I might be popping on my phone to do it here. I don't know for sure. Here's my fishing XP total. I'll try to show that every so often whenever we end the episode, and I might end up using my phone. I guess that's it. I'll see you. Hey, and yeah, to give you a look at what this looks like, I'll show you my skill XP. So here's the fishing XP. 64, 45, 543, right? I could also use cooking XP because that should be a flat amount for the number of eels that I caught. But I guess also right now I could just show you the number of spirit flakes I have remaining, because I think I'm only ever going to do this mobile fishing thing when I have spirit flakes available, because it really helps me to calculate the value of doing this. And it would also give me a good reason to go back and do more Temperos later. So I ended before with 1680 flakes left, and I now have 1490 flakes, which means that I caught 190 fish on my phone, which isn't a lot, but I was really just going for 2,000 scales to see how it would work. And I think that's consistent if we assume that we got 8 scales on average. Oh, it actually produces a much smaller number. Let me sit here and fish for a second. I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to have to kick it forward here in a second once I figure out what it should actually be, but I need to get a sense. I could look at my phone and figure out from the app history how long I was actually fishing for, but I assume that it uses a spirit flake whether you get the extra catch or not. This seems like I rolled unusually lucky on Zulrah scales. Oh, right. That's the problem, because each spirit flake counts as 1 regardless of whether you double caught. So I need to multiply that number by times 1.5. That's how many fishing XP drops I got from, because, okay, yes, using the spirit flake count is correct, because if we use a spirit flake count, it tells us how much fishing XP we got, and that should be consistent with this if we're comparing it. Okay, like, why is this number wrong? 1520 times 1.5 is 2280, so I'm actually slightly short of what the average should be from carving them up. Got it. All right, well, now I just need to figure out if I did 190 XP drops, 190 fish catches, then how much time should that have taken? I should be able to figure that out. I think I'm just going to have to set a time value, because when I'm playing on my phone, I'm not playing efficiently. I had the same thing with when I was doing cannonball smithing on my phone. I wasn't playing efficiently. So I'm just going to have to set a live split time cost for each eel. I guess we could start using this now that there's an in-game clock by hours, but it only ticks up at the hour mark, not on the minute mark. So we'll do a few of these inventories while I'm thinking about it, how I'm going to calculate it. I'm just going to do, like, I don't know, 15 minutes of attempts of regular fishing here to see what the RuneLite says the fish per hour is. Pretty sure that's XP drops, not fish including the spirit flakes. Yeah. So I want to figure out XP drops as well, because that's what I can calculate using spirit flakes and bait, and I can use that to calculate a time estimate. So then I'll fix the live split timer, and then we're going to go do other stuff. I'm going to see if I can finish every hard combat task that's not a wilderness boss or a Dagonoth King. Looks like the only boss I have. Well, technically there's a nightmare kill. I guess I could go kill the nightmare on the public server. So I'll probably do that, because that's probably the best way to get KC. I don't have to think about it. I'm not actually planning to get any drops anyway, so the fact that I'm on a big group server doesn't, like, measurably impact the drop rate as far as I'm concerned. So I can go knock out a nightmare KC, and we got to do kill the Calphite Queen with her defense last being lowered by EU. Should be not a big deal. Let me check what her elite combat achievements are. Kill her 250 times. Well, that one's already done. How nice of them. I feel less bad about going dry on the tattered head. Use Vengeance as the final blow. Use only Verax's flail as a weapon. That's gonna be rough. I'm gonna have to actually finish Verax's set. I probably should do a couple hundred more Barrows runs, because of my equivalent exchange rules. Like, it shouldn't take me very long to get the full barrow set like it would if I were a real Iron Man, and I really got to take advantage of that. Okay, I think I've got my calculation together. So when I'm doing this in RuneLite, I have like an idle notification ding that goes off whenever I screw up or whenever the fishing spot goes away. I have actual fishing spot markers, which are not on the mobile version. And also I can click much faster and more easily to like knife all of the eels, because it's double click, double click, double click, double click. But I can't really like tap that fast on the phone with how much smaller it is. So when I'm doing this on the computer, I get about 240 eels per hour. But when I'm doing it on my phone, it's probably more like 180 or 200 per hour. And if I do 180 per hour, that's about 3 fish per minute, which is easy for me to calculate. And it's probably a good, lower bound on how much time I spent. So I'm going to go with 3. And basically what I'm going to do is whenever we come back from mobile fishing, I'm going to use the spirit flakes and the bait to count how many fish I must have caught on mobile after showing you the difference in XP to know that I'm not cheating. And then I'm going to add that number of fish times 3 minutes to the live split timer. So I have to do that calculation now. I'll update the live split timer. And then I looked up the non-DKS, non-wilderness boss achievements. And yeah, it's just Calfight Queen and Nightmare. So I guess I'll do Calfight Queen first, and then I'll go do a Nightmare kill on the Nightmare server, which maybe I'll talk through a little bit. And then I think we're just going to get back to regular Gauntlet. I really got to just put my head down and start working on that. Okay, live split timer's been updated. If I caught 190 fish at about 3 fish per minute average when I'm doing it on the phone, then that adds about an hour and a few minutes onto the clock. And we're at 3,000 skills, so I'm going to get out of here for now. I don't want to level up off the recording if possible, so I might want to do a little bit of Temperos in like an hour or two. Also shore up my spirit flakes now that I have a very good usage for them. I think the total number of like scales that I'm getting per hour is at least comparable now to Zulrah itself without any of the supplies used fighting Zulrah if I'm using spirit flakes, which is really nice. Because maybe stops being true once you have better gear for Zulrah and she's routinely going down much faster. But for right now, I'm pretty slow at killing her. Alright, I'm going to gear up for... should just be one Calfight Queen kill, God willing. She has some other elite tasks, but because one of them is that Varac's Flail task, I'm going to have to wait until I'm actually fully geared. Yeah, because I only have Varac's Skirt. You see how the blowpipe's doing... 46.3%, so slowly but surely working our way there. Calfight Queen, which we do not have a Slayer task for, which is going to make it a teensy bit messy, but I only need to get 1 kill, so I think we actually want the Dragon Warhammer, which I did not have when I was fighting her before. Oh, and I don't have a regular... I guess we want the Bludgeon. 250 kills without a Dragon Warhammer or a Bludgeon. I don't need to bring ropes anymore, so that's nice. Are they seriously doing this without an Armadillo set? Huh, I guess I was. No kidding. Alright. Did I really burn through all of those fire... Oh my god. I specifically went to the shop to buy fire runes, and I think I burned all of them by recharging my Swamp Trident. Jesus. Okay. So I need to go hard on that. I don't want to have to think about fire runes ever again. Maybe I can just try to buy 100,000 of them and just get it out of the way, Alright, let's go get a Calfight Queen kill. Just have to lower her defense, basically. And apparently the permanent ropes, they move to the hard diary, which I am not going to complain about that. I know kids these days, I used to have to do it uphill both ways, but maybe I have to place them once and then they become permanent? Huh. I guess as soon as I did the elite diary, I never went back there, so would make sense. Should be able to use the shortcut, which is nice too. God. This is so much faster than what I was doing before. She's still fucking kicking my ass, though. Poor Limpwort is this hardcore... Or not hardcore, yeah. Extreme one-chunk Iron Man who's trying to clear this desert chunk and get the pet from this boss using only a rune two-handed sword. Flinching and, like, 20 to 30 minute kills. Come in here, I'm gonna get a kill in, like, 2 minutes. Golly. Titan Penetrator, that's what we're here for. Alright, getting out of here. It's one that I would have already had if it wasn't for goofy way this works. Alright, Nightmare is probably going to be my League gear. Yeah, which is not appropriate, so let me figure out what gear I'm bringing. I think it's like a Trident, maybe? Alright, I'm looking up the gear I need for the Nightmare. She does use Bludgeon. Okay, well that's going to pay off. I like whenever anything requires the Bludgeon because it's not actually used in many areas. You know, those are pretty long grind. I guess I got lucky overall. I got the Bludgeon way ahead of drop rate. It could have been miserable, and it was not that miserable, so I should not complain. Sarah Godsword always max hits on the Sleepwalkers. Interesting. Probably just want the Dragon Warhammer. If I'm going on the big, like, server for this, I'd rather be more helpful than just topping myself off, you know? Right. Sandfuse serums get burned in this fight, don't they? Probably just gonna bring more healing. I think that the gear setup in my inventory is for like multiple kills, which I just want to get one. So I'm gonna reduce some of these a little bit. So I did get a few Nightmare kills on leagues, but it was a completely different situation. I mean, granted it was a trio, but with leagues, there were a bunch of mechanics I didn't really have to pay attention to, so I'm going to try to do it, I guess. I think I can probably get a kill. Let me remind myself of her attacks, so... She uses a tank. Tank should pray melee. Switch to ranger mage when appropriate. Grasping claws, husks, flower power. Magic attack is the one where she spins. The ranged attack is the one where she contorts her body. Okay, and those have different sound effects if I recall correctly. Grasping claws. If you stand on a portal, you take damage. Don't stand in the portals. Sleepwalkers. It's incredible. The wiki strategy article for the Nightmare doesn't mention that you need to use magic damage on the totems. I think it says that somewhere in the main article, maybe? No, it doesn't. Alright, I guess I should edit it in there. It's kind of an issue with the wiki that it kind of assumes that you have a basic familiarity with the fight. Alright, new fight time. Easy phase transition, not so bad. Prayers have been shuffled. Final phase. This is going much better than my previous attempts. Fights all make a lot of sense here, so this isn't so bad. This group server is probably where I'm going to get my achievement KC, rather than trying to do it in a small group. Because I don't expect to ever get a drop if I did a small group anyway, so... may as well just go for the achievements here, you know? Suck it, Nightmare. No problem. 1 KC. Feels good to get 1 KC. Alright, getting out of here. Alright, so I think for combat achievements, we're down to just, for the hard ones anyway, we're down to just Wilderness and Dagonoth Kings. Yeah, so Callisto, Chaos Elemental, Chaos Fanatic. You go do the Fanatic one. I'm not going to do that with a friend. Dagonoth, Venenatus, Fedion. Cool. Almost done with hard achievements. That's pretty exciting. Okay, so if I do the Fanatic, I believe the objective here is to just use the altar for prayer restoration. So I'll switch to my 2000 world, and I guess we just go there and pray that no one ever harasses us. So I can do rune darts for this trip to just try to keep it short. I gotta get rid of these poison rune darts too. Oh, you can't use it with the... Huh. Today I learned. Toxic blowpipe, I didn't know that. You don't want the assembler to be not protected over the barrow's gloves, so no gloves for me, thank you. Alright, and the achievement I'm going for, 10 times without drinking a potion that restores prayer, or leaving the wilderness. Okay. So we're just not going to bring anything that restores prayer. We'll bring a couple ranging potions, though. Alright, we gotta get 10 kills using only the altar to restore prayer. Object item will save the archer helm, which I'm not very caring about. Someone's here, shit. Okay, let's try the other 2000 world. One's also here. This one seems open. Hopping is allowed for this, to be honest. Assume it's not allowed. Man, that accuracy penalty on the blowpipe that they added is bad for this boss. It's just a high enough defense to be annoying. Hey, there's an odium shard. Is that gonna cause me to risk something? Hold on. Checked item will protect it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep that on now, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't significantly impact my amount of prayer. Well, that's cool. I have an odium shard 3, so I think that tells me I should try to go farm the Crazy Archaeologist for the Shard 2. So even if I get the shard that I don't have access to, I can equivalent exchange it for the missing one. It's quite exciting. Shit. Almost got killed by a PKer. Thank you, Noticing Skulls. Don't know if that is going to fail my task. Maybe I won't. I think I'm on kill 7. I'm going to conserve run energy in case I have to run from a PKer. Trying to watch the minimap for white dots now, too. Praying if this works, I only need 2 more kills, assuming the hop doesn't penalize me. Shard 2 is 1 in 256. I don't know if I want to get that many Crazy Archaeologist kills. I guess I can just go to drop rate, and if I don't get it, I don't get it. I think that shield's not bad. Like, it's best in slot, I want to say, for Bracken. Without the Twisted Buckler, which I'm going to be equivalent exchanging later. This should be my last kill. Yeah. Assuming the hop didn't penalize me. Hey, I got it. That's very exciting. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here then. So I can bank this Odium Wart shard. Very nice. Achievements complete. Kill a Chaos Fanatic 10 times without drinking a potion, which restores prayer, or leaving the wilderness. No problem. Everything else I need to do with Chaos. Or I'd prefer to do with Chaos, I should say. I might go fight the Crazy Archaeologist to get the Shard 2, but it's not super high priority. I guess if I get a task where the Odium Ward is somewhat recommended, maybe I'll go do it. But for now, I'm not particularly worried about it. Okay. I think I'm just doing everything in my power to avoid doing the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is very stressful for me. It's like what Hydra was before, or Demonic Gorillas. I think I can convince myself to put it off one more step. I need to do it. I can't keep putting it off. I'm going to go do my Slayer task and see what new Slayer task I roll. If I roll something interesting, I'll do that instead. If I roll something bad, then we'll go do Gauntlet. How about that? Oh, cannons can be set up in the Dagonoth areas. It's not in the Basilisk areas. Alright, well, I'm doing this the stupid way. Give me a second to go get cannon points. I think maybe I learned that before, and it was just over a year ago, so I don't remember. Alright, task complete. That wasn't so bad. I am going to eventually pick up the ability to hold Slayer tasks, but I'm kind of making sure I leave myself some points to skip if I get some really bad tasks coming up here. Kraken. Speaking of which, I guess it's not a bad task, but I also don't need it anymore, so I have all those achievements done. So now's the time to reblock it, I think. I might unblock Fire Giants. I probably need to unblock Calphites if I have to do Calphite Queen stuff. Adamant Dragons in the Lithgren Vault. That's like my favorite task. Because you have to fight 6 of them. I got 100 points for a multiple of 10 tasks, so that's nice. Hydras! That would be the perfect skip task, but I still need to do the speedrun achievements for that, and I still need to finish the Brimstone Ring, so I will probably end up doing that eventually, but not right now. That's a very draining task. So I said that I'm going out of my way to avoid doing the Gauntlet, and this is kind of that. I do have a project that I've been putting off this week that I have to finish. So I'm going to be super lame and go do Motherlode Mine to finish up that project, and then maybe I can work up the courage to stop being whiny and just do the Gauntlet. I just got to get it into a swing of it, just put it on autopilot. It requires a little bit too much brain power for me at the moment. Mining 90. That's an important level. 2 to go. And then I never have to come back here. I can mine the highest level shooting stars, which is kind of cool. I might do some more of that at some point. I guess it's fast soft clay. I don't know. I guess if I did it, it would be for gems. to level crafting. All right, now that I only need to boost 2 levels, I might take another stab at amethyst boosting with preserve. Probably not going to happen though. I might do it at 91 because then I can bring a bunch of dwarf drinks with me and just sip them. But I wasn't clear whether the amethyst area has a bank chest or if it has a deposit chest, because that would change things. I'm going to head over there really quick and see how many I can get in a single boost with preserve. And then we'll probably take a break and do something else. I guess part of this is I can activate it in my house, immediately pool. It should last long enough for me to start using it. There's an actual bank chest. Okay, that changes things a little bit then. If I had that new Raids 3 spec attack thing, I could just use that. Experiment with like power mining iron, because I'm pretty close to the point where my special attack is coming back naturally from the full buff. I wonder if it would make sense to just stay here, power mine iron, while waiting on my spec bar to regenerate. I might actually want shooting stars for this. If I'm going to do it this way, I might want to charge my celestial ring. So I think you get the extra XP when you mine a double iron that way. Pretty sure it doesn't work on amethyst though. I'll do this last partial inventory of amethyst and then I'll go check it out. I just want to get out of Motherlode Mine because I don't care about any of the resources that I'm getting there, but I do care about amethyst, so if I can start mining here even for a paltry amount of XP, it's AFK enough. I think the crystal pickaxe matters for mining amethyst, so I might want to finish my Temperos draining my crystal harpoon charges grind. Because once I finish that grind, I don't need a crystal axe and I don't need a crystal harpoon for anything. It would just be for mining, so I might end up needing to do it this way anyway, of occasionally mining iron, because I need unidentified materials to really make this worth doing for those expert mining gloves. Try to find some of these shooting stars here. Oh, I got a tier 7 rock here. I'm just going to finish this rock and then go back and see if switching to iron occasionally with the charges makes a significant enough difference. I'm pretty sure now I have to do that power mining to make sure I have enough materials, because I don't think I'm going to get them from amethyst quickly. I think it's going to take me many hours to get enough materials for the mining gloves from amethyst alone. So I think that kind of works out. Man, I feel like this is the way to go in the future. Forget the chat. Try to find your own star that no one else is reporting. I'm actually going to leave the chat, because once I'm done with this, I'm just going to see how long this lasts me at iron. Yeah, I've been standing here, actually timed out from the AFK. This is like Nightmare Zone levels of AFK. Anyway, once this thing is fully mined, I've got 3 clue scrolls in my bank that I want to burn through, beginner and easy and a medium. And then I think the plan is going to be amethyst. This is all this is all an elaborate way to avoid running gauntlet, by the way. But amethyst until I run out of boost, iron until spec attack comes back. Repeat, hopefully getting enough unidentified materials along the way to be able to get the expert mining gloves. And we'll see how much XP that ends up actually being. If it's significantly worse XP per hour than Motherlode Mine, I guess I can just go back there, but I kind of want to never go back. Man, just mining a single star mostly by yourself or maybe with 1 or 2 other people seems to be the way to go to do this. Like, I think the first time I did it, I just kept following the chat and ended up having to mine a couple dozen stars, I think, to get to 2,000, but I'm almost to 2,000 right now. Well, almost to 1,500 on this one single star. All right, fully mine that thing. I'm going to try charging up the Celestial Ring. Remains to be seen whether this is worth doing. Charging up the ring, that is. Because it's a lot of time spent getting those Stardust, and I think it burns a charge every time you swing. I'm going to do my beginner, easy, and medium clues so I can get more geodes. I got all 3 caskets. Let's open these up and get to mining. Easy casket is nothing. Beginner casket is nothing. Medium casket has a blessing, I guess. I'm just going to drop the iron. I have so much of it. Shouldn't need any. Struggling to find a server where both the amethyst is free and that little iron nook is free. I dropped maybe 200 iron ore, and I can't allow myself to do it. It seems like the number of spam clicks you have to do to drop all of it, unless if you were doing it really attentively and like dropping in between ore clicks, is enough that you may as well deposit it. I'm probably never going to use it, but maybe 4,000 hours from now when I'm like, fuck it, I'm maxing. It's not going to happen, by the way. I have zero interest in maxing in this game. Unless if they add content that is dependent on the maxscape or being at 99 at certain skills, I don't count on it. It is not in my sphere of interest. But regardless, it just seems silly to drop the ore, at least while standing here, because it's so easy to deposit it. I have enough minerals to get the first pair of mining gloves. I gotta read how they actually work. I don't know. Seems like a really important unlock to go for these mining gloves for amethyst, because it's like a 25% chance for your node not to deplete. I'm hoping it's going to be a really long grind doing this, because this is a little bit slower than Motherlode Mine right now. But I'm still hoping that there's enough XP from 90 to 92 that I can actually get the gloves, because it's possible I won't. All right, I'm coming up on time here. I got maybe 10 minutes left. I'm going to chisel this amethyst real quick just to see what I'm looking at with crafting XP. Oh my god, 90 amethyst from... That's a lot of time for not a lot of ore. Well, anyway, I'm going to chisel it, and then maybe I'll keep going for a little bit here. But I think we're going to be in this room for a while. It's a really great way for me to shirk my responsibilities and not practice the gauntlet. It's somewhat attentive. Just trying to get this unidentified materials count up to 240 before we hit 92 mining is the dream. I already almost have more amethyst darts than I have dragon darts. That's pretty fun. I wish they would have made these untradeable and made them 15 instead of 8 per stack, but as with many things in RuneScape, that ship has sailed. I don't think they're ever going to change that. I got about 10 more minutes, so I'm probably going to do like one more cycle of mining here. Okay, I should bounce. We'll keep doing this, though. Maybe Gauntlet will be back soon, but this seems like it's fruitful, and that unidentified minerals count is slowly ticking up. Oh, it's going to be brutal, but we'll get there. I'll see ya. Hey, good morning. Decent chance I'll break away from this to do something more interesting than this. But I need to do this, and it's more attentive than Motherlode Mine, so I'm going to consider it as part of my attentive content. Looks like the server I'm starting on is not the one I want to be on, so let me hop around and see what I'm doing here. Okay, I've been at this for about an hour. XP rate's about 32k, which I think if you just did Amethyst, it's more like 20k. So given that the main goal here is to get unidentified materials and to hit 92 in the process, I think that's pretty reasonable. I am going to go do these 2 clue geodes, but then I'm going to go see if I can stomach some some Gauntlet. Gauntlet's like premier, that meme with the little girl thinking about doing something versus actually doing it. Like, it's not that bad, but for some reason I get really excited to go try it, and then I go and I do it, and I get 3 kills in, and I'm like, oh my god, kill me. I should try to get this Odium Shard too. I think that would be a fun item to have. Alright, caskets. Surprise, a shitty beginner casket. Easy. Oh, blue wizard hat trimmed. I got a new thing from a clue. It can happen. Alright, gauntlet time. I'm doing it. It's happening. We'll see how long I survive before I run out of here screaming. Try to get the achievement where I have the perfect armor. I think that requires an extra 6 items over what I would usually take total. Usually I get 7. Yeah, that sounds right. Alright. Oh, I got 3-2-1 range and Crystalline Warrior. Nice. It's better than I was expecting. I think 3-2-1 range is always pray correctly. I'm using a gauntlet timer now. I'm actually using the gauntlet timer that counts down 3-2-1 range. So that's kind of neat. I wonder if they actually named the task after the timer. They used that one time and it's way better now. 3-2-1 range. Yeah, without taking damage off prayer. Full set of perfected armor. So I have to do it without making a stamina potion, which sounds hard. And without making more than one attuned weapon, I'm going to want to practice before I mess around with that. Don't need the perfected armor ever again. Let's not bother with that. This should all be fast-forwarded now, I think. Just 39 more clears. I'm going to try a run with just the regular armor. I don't think getting the extra armor significantly increases the amount of time this takes, but... I guess if I go for the one where I don't make any potions, I should probably make the perfected armor again. Hey, we got it with no all potions. That wasn't so bad. I think the last one I have to do is the 5-1 version, where I'm just doing elites. Kill the Hunllef without making more than one attuned weapon. Okay, so I can still make one shitty weapon. I guess I don't have to do it 5-1, but I guess I could use the opportunity to practice. Ooh, that was cutting it close. Got Wolf Puncher, though. That means I'm done with elite tasks, and I have no interest in touching the other tasks. Not right now, anyway. Maybe we'll come back. Gauntlet Master. Don't take damage from anything. Don't make any armor. Less than 5 minutes, yeah. We did the elite ones. That's what matters for now. Okay, I have no idea if I'm going to have the discipline to pull this off, but I'm going to try to do 10 gauntlet clears per day until we get to 50 KC, and then we'll do 10 corrupted gauntlet kills per day. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to that. I stuck to it with the Hydra. This is exhausting. It's not difficult, it's just exhausting. I should try to do one with only the regular armor. So probably need to... Although I think I need the tier 2 armor for Corrupted anyway, so maybe I should be in the habit of what I'm going to end up doing in Corrupted. Let me start researching that during this run here. Alright, that represents my 10 KC for the day. It does say open the chest 10 times, so that has been done. Whew. Let's try to do 10 per day. I think that's reasonable. Also, I'm almost 99 ranged. I haven't noticed that at all. I feel like I should just go finish that off somewhere. I guess I don't know where. Maybe we'll farm some easy clues on goblins or something. Arts? Sure, why not? Arts and full Armadil, of course. Naturally. I'm bummed about being 99 magic and range, because now doing the Inferno, whenever I die, it's just time lost, right? But before I was hoping, oh, maybe I'll leave enough XP in there to hit 99 with attempts, but no dice. I did this in leagues to farm for beginner and easy clues. That seems right. I guess I should probably bring Bone Crusher if I'm going to bother with this, right? Alright, here comes 99 range on a goblin. There it is, ranged at 99, and I've got 5 easy clue scrolls to juggle, so let's get cracking. So I'm just gonna teleport these all to Lumbridge real quick. Alright, juggling is complete. I still have to get the last one, but I don't have to worry about the timer. That clue juggling plugin on the plugin hub is really nice. Previously I was trying to manage a manual timer, and I would just constantly redrop the clue scrolls, which isn't really necessary most of the time, it turns out. Alright, I have 5 easy caskets, which are all going to be terrible, I assume, but let's find out. 1. Terrible. 2. Master clue. That's part of the reason why I juggled them, hoping to get one of those. Actually, that's the only reason I juggled them. Nothing else from easy clues is interesting to me other than that. So that's neat. Let me go do that real quick. God, I need an Alk again here soon. Alright, well, I will. Teleport to a spirit tree you planted yourself. That is the easiest master clue step for me. No problem. I do that for breakfast. Right, Fellow the Bard. I can use this music cape. Went to all this trouble for. Dragon Scimitar, no problem. Oh, Did I alch those? If I alched all my dragon scimitars, I might buy one back. No, I left one. Good job, past me. Wilderness Obelisk. I guess that one's easy to get to. Master Casket. Okay, go open this. Here we go, Master Casket. What we got? Dragon Defender Ornament Kit. That's actually kind of neat. I don't need it, but I use Dragon Defender all the time. Probably not going to get an Avernic Defender for a really long time. Sure. Neat. I don't think anyone will ever be able to make that out, but technically there's a little bit of gold where my giant paw is holding the thing. Right on. It's probably going to piss off basically all of my inventory setups, but it's fine. Alright, I need to do something a little bit more chill, so I'm going to go... trying to decide if I want to just go back to Motherlode Mine, because if I can get 91, it's going to make boosting for Amethyst quite a bit less painful. I need to deplete all the charges in this Celestial Ring, so why don't we do that? I'll deplete the charges in the Celestial Ring, and then maybe we'll finish up mining 91 at Motherlode Mine. Oh, and I still have these 3 easy caskets. Yeah, we'll do those real quick. Trash. Black plate skirt trimmed, I guess, is technically a new thing. Go deposit that, but everything else is trash. Okay, I should probably bounce to prep for stream. We're getting there. 100 on unidentified materials, need 140 more, so I'd like to stop once we hit 240 and finish up at Motherlode Mine. I'll see you. Hello there, folks, and good morning. It's a new day, so I should probably go do... I'm already sighing. I should probably go do 10 gauntlet kills. Probably going to have to come down to 5 gauntlet kills once I get to corrupted gauntlet, because I don't know that doing 10 is going to be a reasonable goal. Let's just try to get it out of the way. Hey, Elite Clue. I think I have to do these whenever they pop up because the drop rate of Elite Clues is pretty high. I only have one more kill to do. I think I need to reduce my daily count from 10 to 5 because 10 is a lot. It's almost 2 hours. So we'll see. I'll try to keep doing 10 for as long as I can, but if I have to reduce it to 5, that makes me feel good about at least attempting it, then I'll stick with that. One of these days I'm going to get an Elite Clue that doesn't have a single wilderness step. Still stresses me out. This one's the Abyss, which isn't a big deal, but... Let's open this Elite Casket. Nothing. Money, I guess. I gotta do one more gauntlet run. I'm just staring at my bank for a second because I felt like I was gonna do something different. No, let's just go do it. I think I finally got perfect. Okay, I don't have to stress about trying to make that happen anymore. I kept getting my heart rate up, and then I'd make one stupid mistake. So now I don't mind about making small mistakes. That's 10 kills for today. With the Elite Clue Scroll, it was a little over 2 hours. Let's go back to the Amethyst Mine. Just went ahead and crafted and fletched all of my Amethyst darts. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Superior Mining Gloves here, because I can afford them. Then we have to get the mine. We have to get another 120 minerals to actually turn them into the Expert Gloves. Oh, collection log. That's nice. Yo, good morning. It's a new day, which means I'm going to try to do 10 Gauntlet KC. I keep doing 10 regular Gauntlet, but I guess when we get to Corrupted Gauntlet, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 10. My bank is full, so I want to get back to Gauntlet, but let me do these 3 clue scrolls first. Probably going to go sell all these pages. I shouldn't need pages ever again, but I'll record them in my document just in case. Alright, beginner, easy, and medium caskets. Beginners should have nothing. Yep. Easy, nothing. Medium, mithril plate legs G. It's kind of cool. Just alch everything right away. I'm going to sell these pages because I need the bank space from them. I'm also going to sell some of this random food that I don't ever plan to use, and things like the grapes because I have zero intention of leveling cooking because I'm already at 99. I might try to get in the habit now of doing hopscape to look for crystal implings until I can get a crystal acorn and just try to have always one planted. 15 shards isn't a lot, but I'm going to need a lot of shards to corrupt the bow once I get it. Alright, I'm pulling up my tracker spreadsheet to write down the pages I'm about to sell. Alright, Miscellanea, Sinister Key, Ribstone Keys. I should have a decent amount of bank space left for Gauntlet rewards. Maxed out the Miscellanea coffer. It's fine. Finished getting 100% approval here. Alright, let's try to do this. And Gauntlet KC, here we go. My first kill with Tier 1 armor. Let's see how awfully this goes here. That went reasonably smoothly. Doing it with Tier 1 armor is a lot easier than I was expecting. It might just be because I was practicing to get the perfect kill, and so in practicing I've gotten better at it. Alright, there's my 10 KC for the day. I definitely brought my average run time way down as a result of just doing the T1 armor. That helps a lot. I also changed up my method for searching the nearby areas. This loot logger includes 4 kills in Trailblazer, but really more like 40 kills. 2.56 million gold's pretty good, and that's almost all actual alcohols, so I'm probably still going to manually mine iron and amethyst as much as possible, but I might need to go to the Motherlode mine later just because I need something really AFK because I have to edit this week's RuneScape episode. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna head over to Motherlode mine. I need to do more. I need to do significantly more regular power iron mining and amethyst mining for the unidentified materials to get those expert gloves, but it's not AFK enough for the editing that I need to do, so I'm going to gear up and we're going to Motherlode mine for a bit. I'm going to come back to the Motherlode mine here in a second, but I'm at a part of my editing phase that I just have to wait for something to render so I can be a little bit more attentive. I think what I'm going to do is, it's really early in the morning, I probably have no or very little competition, so I'm going to try to hop for crystal implings. I would very much like to get at least one crystal acorn, would be great. Oh, it's a good start to crystal implings, one as soon as I teleport. Got a crystal impling here, but I'm being competed for it. I should probably grab the runes for Dark Lure. I'm learning that the spirit tree spot is bad. Get way more spawns over on my previously marked top location. I'm about to have caught 20 crystal implings, which is pretty good. I'm using a new method here where I teleport to my house, go in my house, teleport to the spirit tree, and then use the eternal teleport crystal. But I almost never see them by the spirit tree, so it might be better to just switch between the house and the crystal. Either way, though, I'm about done with that rendering task, so I should probably open up these crystal implings and then head back over to the Motherlode mine so I can start editing. Alright, this is always exciting. 20 crystal implings, let's go. Hey, there's a crystal acorn. That's what I was doing this for. Just wanted the one, but I might do this. Oh, there's a second one, thank God. This is reasonably AFK, and I think I've learned that the best way to go about doing this is to hop over on this bridge over here. I think that's actually the best surface area for hopping, as long as you don't have any competition. So let's, just out of curiosity, guide prices. Not including the crystal acorn, that's like 450k. It's pretty neat. Baby dragon bones is going to be great for prayer later. And I got 2 crystal acorns, which don't get included in that price check, but make a pretty big difference. I am going to go turn these into saplings and bank them for later. 30 crystal shards. Alright, and back we go to Motherlode Mine. So I'm thinking about how I want to use my all this ore that I've collected from Motherlode Mine from getting like 10 levels here. And the theory this whole time has been that every last ore needs to go to darts. Every last rune, especially rune, but adamant too. I think that I can pivot that strategy now because of Amethyst. Now, I have to be really careful making that declaration, making that decision, because if I turn all of my runite into rune swords or whatever to Alkit for money, and I turn all of my adamantite into adamantite plate bodies to Alk for money, I am locking myself in at spending a lot of time at Amethyst to make sure that I am permanently stocked on those darts, which I should probably do anyway. It's probably better for my overall DPS and for most activities to have those Amethyst darts loaded up in there. But Amethyst is really, really slow. Really slow. I think you get like 800 darts an hour. There's 16,000 darts that go into the toxic blowpipe, so that's 20 hours to fill the toxic blowpipe. Lasts a long time with the assembler, but still, that's more than a little alarming. So I don't want to hose myself by not turning all of this into darts. On the other hand, if I turn it all into like runite swords and adamant plate bodies and all of that, that's potentially an enormous amount of just raw GP in my bank, which I need an enormous amount of raw GP to pay back the splits that I've done. And I'd rather not farm Vorkath just for money. That sounds like it's like that's the entire reason we're doing Tin Man, is to not have to do that, right? I'm currently leaning a little bit towards smithing all of this ore into alkables instead of into darts, and just shifting to completely focusing on amethyst for all of my darts, and just saying we're going to do amethyst. And it was like I was saying with sacred eels, once we're at 92 mining, I'm not doing it right now, but since we have a goal and a change in content, I'm going to try to record everything for mining until we hit 92. But once we're at 92, I want both amethyst and sacred eels to be a mobile option, so that I can do that when I'm not recording, and then go back afterward and retroactively update the live split timer. Because I need more AFK stuff to do that's doesn't need to be recorded, because it would just be miserably fast forwarded anyway, right? But I worry that I might be overestimating how long I'm going to be able to do that, or how much time I'm going to have to do that. I need an endless well of AFK activities. That's what keeps me playing RuneScape. Part of the reason I quit playing when we were approaching the 3,000 hour mark was I felt like I was out of AFK stuff to do, right? And this MLM grind has been really nice for that, but it's nearing its end. And there's really nothing else on the board that is comparable, other than stuff that's just supplying the account indefinitely. That's going to take hundreds of hours of AFK to do. I guess I don't want to lock myself out of recording Amethyst and Sacred Eels, like if I happen to be on my computer and would rather do it there than on my phone. But I guess I could just set the rule that if I go to do those tasks now, I'm just going to stop the OBS recording to save some space on my many external hard drives here to maybe not record that. Anyway, a lot of ranting, just kind of thinking about what I'm doing here. I'm leaning pretty heavily, though, towards going to the blast furnace, turning these all into bars, and then smithing it all into alkables, setting up the foot pedal and just alking thousands of mithril plate bodies, and just seeing how much money we end up with, because golly, would it be nice to just have cash. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll end that extremely long rant with this. I'm going to look up what mithril darts, adamant darts, and rune darts go for, because maybe my middle ground is to make them all into darts and then sell the darts. Because if, according to my Tin Man rules, I can just keep a log of how many darts I sold, and then if I really, really need them later, if Amethyst doesn't work out as well as I'm hoping it's going to, I can just buy them back. So I'm going to figure out what the difference in price is per bar from darts compared to like making a plate body or an alchable. Because I guess another reason to do darts is lots of fletching XP. I don't need fletching XP, but I would like to at least hit 91 or 92 fletching so we don't have to boost to make dragon darts. Oh wow, yeah, the price is no contest over just making rune swords. Maybe we're not going to do that. Maybe we'll just do alchables. It's like, I don't know, 3k gold per runite bar if you turn them into rune darts. The price just tanks because, you know, all of that value is from the fletching XP of combining the rune dart tips with feathers. I think if I were to sell those, it would be more like 8k, which is still less than the sword. So yeah, no, I think we're just gonna do alchables, and I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna put all my eggs into the amethyst basket and hope that it's a well of AFK forever. I'm editing diary episode 20 here, and just discovered that the live split timer has a problem. I actually managed to go for about 1,700 hours without ever making this mistake, and it was a mistake that I was pretty positive I was gonna accidentally make somewhere in the playthrough. So I guess making it that far without screwing it up is nice. You've probably already watched Diary episode 20 forever ago. Probably don't remember this, though. Basically, like, the way Live Split works is every time you save your splits and then change to a different game, sometimes a little bit janky as to whether it remembers what was actually in your layout, particularly if like your computer crashes or something. So my practice is every time I go to start recording, I check what the live split timer said in the previous recording, just kind of as a sanity check. And about, I don't know, 20% of the time it's wrong and I have to go in and manually correct it. So it looks like I did not do that sanity check and I lost 3 hours, 52 minutes, and 2 seconds about 1,500 hours ago. So the live split timer has technically been wrong. I guess if I've been calling out interesting milestones like 2,000 hours and 2,500 hours and 3,000 hours, they've been off. Who cares? I'll fix the timer. I'm probably going to wait until the timer value gets to an easier math. I guess I could just do the math, but I don't want to. It's off by about 3 hours and 52 minutes, though. So maybe once the timer down there updates to 3195, I'll come back off mute and add 352 onto it. All right, it's time for me to update the live split timer. I'm going to do it right when the clock ticks here. Fixed. All right, it has been fixed. It's moved 4 hours ahead. 3 hours, 52 minutes. Thank you. I'm sure you don't care. There is 91 mining, which is the exciting level I've been working toward. I'm going to finish off this pay dirt sack. Then I kind of want to take a break, but when I come back, I want to buy a bunch of dwarven stouts and see how long I can make boosting work. Because I think I have about 30 seconds with preserve that I'm not going to have the dragon pickaxe buff running. And maybe I can fill in that time with dwarven stouts because I don't have to run to bank constantly because I can actively chisel the amethyst in that corner there. If that works, that would be great because then I can just stay at amethyst for the next, what is it? It's 20k an hour, 30 hours of amethyst to get to 92. So that's what I'm going to experiment with. Let me finish up these sacks, split the recording, and then I'll come back. I got to clear some space on my hard drive. This has been a long session. Okay, I'm back from my short break. I'm going to go find a shop where I can buy a ton of dwarven stouts. I think this guy's my best bet. The dude in Berthorpe. Is there a faster teleport to Berthorpe? It's the game's necklace, isn't it? House portal, maybe. I'll just use this one. It's not that long of a walk. I'm just going to get maybe a couple hundred of them. I already have like 120 stouts. So here's the plan. We teleport to the mining guild. We turn on preserve. We use the special attack until we run out. And then we have a chisel, and a few Dwarven Stouts in the inventory, and we sip a Dwarven Stout once the buff runs all the way out in order to bridge the gap until the special attack comes back up. So I want to see how that actually works in practice. With the Chisel, I shouldn't have to run to bank very often. In fact, I might be able to get away with only banking when I have to teleport out when I eventually run out of prayer. Because we are going to run out of prayer eventually. So I don't know if this is actually going to be feasible, if it's going to require way too many Dwarven Stouts to make sense. I'll probably be able to calculate exactly how many Stouts I'll need for it to be workable. Let's try starting with like 10 Dwarven Stouts. I need to figure out how many I need to have in my inventory until I run out of prayer. That's the key number that we're looking out for here. All right, let's give it a try. The strategy of using the Dwarven Stout seems to work fine. I am going to have to pour it out to double check. I think it's like 35 minutes or so. I think it's about 30 minutes almost exactly when Preserve runs out. Port to my house really quick, stop over in bank, get some new Dwarven Stouts. But now I should be able to stay here all the way to 92, at which point I can stop bothering with Preserve, which will be nice. It'll be truly AFK. I won't ever have to port out because I can just chisel everything, similar to Sacred Eels. But no, I think I'm going to do this. I'll keep recording it directly for now. I might move to doing it on my phone once we actually hit 92. Oh, I didn't even think about this, but I should wear a bunch of prayer boosting gear. I don't know why I wasn't doing that before. There's limited slots I can equip gear into, but I can at least have like a Rada's Blessing, Falador Shield probably. Rada's Blessing for sure. I actually don't know what gear has the best prayer bonus in the offhand. Alright, now it's 47 minutes instead of 30 minutes. That's nice. Yeah, we'll try it with 4 Dwarven Stouts now that it lasts 47 minutes. See how it goes. Just coming off mute to say that I'm pretty pumped at how well this works. And I should be able to finance it, make it work indefinitely, all the way to 92. If I need 8 or so Dwarven Stouts every 45 minutes, and right now it says I'm getting 28k an hour. It's probably realistically going to be more like 20k an hour according to the wiki. Yeah, I'm only going to need like 300 Dwarven Stouts, maybe 500 Dwarven Stouts if I'm really inefficient with it. So yeah, I think this would be super doable. This is going to be my new AFK sync for the next 30 hours or so. Hopefully I can build up a nice little stash of amethyst darts, get some passive crafting XP along the way. Yeah, actually, it looks like with my current XP projections over here that if I get all the way to 92 from amethyst, I will get 90 crafting in the process. So it'll be interesting to see, depending on how long I stay here, how much crafting XP I eventually get. Because one of my goals is to get to 93 crafting, but that's only going to be possible if we do like hundreds of hours of amethyst, which I don't know is going to happen. So I'm probably not going to do this forever. I might even back out and go. It's the same day for me, but I might go do another 10 Gauntlet KC just to knock it out so we can start Corrupted Gauntlet fresh. Okay, just ran out of prayer. That's probably a good stopping point for me. I did this for a couple hours. Ended up with 1,500 or so darts. I'm going to start operating on the assumption that with the assembler, 500 darts represents about an hour of toxic blowpipe usage. I think it's closer to 600, an hour of like non-stop usage, but there's not a lot of content where it's actually non-stop. So I'm going to fletch these really quick, and then I'm going to take a short break, and when we come back, I might do something different for a bit. But we're going to keep this in the back of our mind indefinitely. It is really, really good AFK activity that I probably have to do forever, because I'm always going to need darts, I think. Yo, I'm back. I've got some room to do some attentive content, so I'm going to see if I can get ahead of my 10 Gauntlet KC. Really, do crystal trees grow that fast? Oh, I guess they do. Alright. So that was going to be like a multiple day thing. Probably need to do more crystal impling hunting. Seems pretty effective. It seems like the number of players that are actively going after them is way down from when I was doing it before. Fortunately, do not need the farming XP, but do need the crystal shards. Already regretting getting all those enhanced crystal keys. That was a huge mistake. Greatly overestimated how many shards I was going to be getting from the gauntlet. I didn't realize it's like 4 shards per trip. Gonna reserve the right to bail on these partway through, because I'm technically doing tomorrow's runs early. So if I get tired of it, maybe I'll stop. Got an elite clue scroll. Go do that real quick. Alright, elite casket. What we get? I think that's an ornament kit I already have because it didn't give me a collection log. What is it? Light Infinity Color Kit. Oh boy. Probably just going to sell that. I don't think I'm ever going to get an Infinity piece. GE average 6,412. I'm going to try, keyword try, a no armor kill because there's an achievement for that. I don't think it's going to work, but I figure I may as well give it a shot. Alright, this might be a shit show. Let's give it a try. I'm going to die. No way I'm surviving this. I land some really huge bow hits, but look, I missed that opportunity. Certainly tried. That's a bummer. Definitely screwed that up too, in other ways. Alright, well, that's not worth going for until I'm actually going for the master achievements, otherwise it's just time wasted, so. I probably could have gotten it, but I forgot to start the gauntlet timer thing, so that confused me and threw me off, and I got hit a bunch of times early on, and I didn't quite get as much food as I wanted. Fortunately, something just came up and I'm going to have to leave mid-run. I don't know if I'm allowed to or if I just lose my progress. Never tried it before, so I guess I'll just give it a shot and see what happens. Assume if I log out, it doesn't put me outside. So another wasted run, but oh well. I'll see you around. Hey, good morning, folks. My emergency last night, you log out, it puts you outside the instance, so it's unfortunate. I am going to do my remaining kills to get up to 50 KC in the gauntlet today, but I got to do some AFK stuff right away, so I'm heading right back to amethyst mining. Probably after I finish the 50 KC at gauntlet, I'll go do at least try to get one corrupted gauntlet KC just to see how different it is. So my work today is taking me quite a bit longer than it usually does. I have to do a really significant bit of subscriber database maintenance once a month, and this is that once a month. I am going to be free this evening, though, to continue playing on the same day. So after I finish stream, I'm probably going to go and do my requisite gauntlet KC. But this amethyst shit's probably going to continue for my remaining time before I have to split the VOD. I guess you don't care, it's all just getting fast forwarded, right? But really trying to stick to the rule I set for myself here. Alright, I'm about out of time, so I'm going to fletch these darts really quick, and then hopefully after stream I'll have some time to finish up the gauntlet KC. Gonna try to get to 50 and then maybe try to get one corrupted gauntlet KC. Like I said, I'm probably only going to do 5 corrupted gauntlet KC per day because it seems like the extra stress, I don't know if 10 is going to be something that I can manage realistically. But this amethyst mining has been going really well. And the crafting XP isn't bad. It's basically 5k an hour, but 5k an hour for free, right? All right, we're up to 8,144 amethyst darts, so I now officially have just about as many amethyst darts as I have rune darts in the bank. 10 times as many as I have dragon darts, which is nice. Still not enough to fully fill the toxic blowpipe, but that should represent 11 hours-ish, maybe 12 hours of constant blowpipe usage. So you usually don't use it constantly. And the main concern is the Inferno. So if we just think of the Inferno and I just try to use the blowpipe instead of bringing the F-bow, probably represents about 13 attempts, which isn't bad. In any case, though, I'm going to sign off, come back and do some Gauntlet. I'll see you around. Bye. Hey, I'm back. It's after stream. Let me see if I can finish up these Gauntlet kills here. There's 50 KC. Okay, I'm done with regular Gauntlet, I think. Gotta go to Big Boy Gauntlet now, which I'm a little nervous about. Just a little bit. It's a teensy tiny bit.
That is a wrap for this episode. We'll be doing Corrupted Gauntlet next episode. Unfortunately, next episode also features the first substantial data loss in this project, where I lost, I don't know, maybe 10 hours of video, mostly Venenatus attempts. Fortunately, I do have those handy automatic RuneLite screenshots, so I'm going to be able to recreate pretty much everything that's missing from the video files that are lost. It'll be a little bit messy, but you're still going to see the vast majority of the interesting things that happen, either via screenshot or through actual video. So thanks for bearing with me, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.